Bronny, you knew how shorthanded you guys were going to be. What was kind of the team mindset going in, and how do you feel like you were able to rally and keep it that close despite so many key guys being out?
I just think the main thing was just fighting. Knowing we were down some guys, just playing as hard as we can, making sure we're doing all the right stuff, executing the right stuff, and just going out there and playing as hard as we can. I think that was what kept us in the game, and it ended up not being in our favor, but yeah, it was a good game.
You're playing some of your best basketball of the year for the South Bay Lakers. What was it like for you to kind of get the call, come in, know you were going to need to play, and find an impact early in that first quarter?
Yeah, I'm always just trying to stay ready as much as I can, whether I'm playing in the G or up here with the big guys, but just always trying to stay ready. We have stay ready games and practice and stuff like that, so I'm always ready to go at it and give my full effort.
I was just going to check on my phone, but did you see a score in your brother's game?
No, I haven't yet. I haven't.
Okay.
But I think I checked it a quarter ago. It was pretty close, but yeah.
The conversation sort of about you is probably never been normal as a basketball player.
Yep.
I guess being in the G this year and being able to just kind of work a little bit more in the shadows, how beneficial do you think that's been for you?
I always try to stay as low-key as I can, whether that's media, everything really, living life. But, just putting in the work behind the scenes, I feel like it's been really good for me. I worked all summer before the draft, and I'm still working right now, so I can see improvement. It's been going well for me.
All right, Jake, just first from a team standpoint, how do you balance the emotions of getting this great energy and effort from guys that don't always get to play a ton and having a good chance to win the game versus kind of the disappointment of Denver coming back and winning down the stretch?
There's no moral victories or anything like that. We played a game to win the game, so guys are disappointed. At the same time, a lot of guys there was an opportunity for some guys to get in there and play, and I think above all else, we just wanted to show that we could play hard and play together and give ourselves a fighting chance. Thank you.
Individually, I'm sure it's difficult to come in and try to find a rhythm when you're only getting a couple shots up, right, in a minor bench role. What was it like for you today to just get a couple more minutes, get a chance to get some shots up, find a rhythm, and kind of show what you can do in that way?
It felt good. This is what you prepare for, whether you're playing or not, is constantly putting work in to be ready for whatever opportunity you get. And tonight I just try to go out there and be aggressive and have fun, honestly. Let us game. So, just go out there and have fun, try to win.
Jake, you mentioned no moral victories, but it did feel like recapturing some of that kind of frantic energy this team has played with is important. Did you feel like after this road trip, particularly the Brooklyn game, that you guys needed to really get back to playing sort of your style?
I think a little bit. Personally, I feel like, we didn't play with a lot of juice this trip. I think, tonight we definitely play with more juice, and you could definitely see that energy and feel that energy throughout the bench and stuff like that. So I think being able to bottle that up and take that back to LA and, really hit the ground running, because we got, a couple sets of back-to-backs coming up as well. So I think for us, that's important, to be able to go out there and feel it, see what it feels like, and bottle it up and continue doing it.
I don't know if there was too many people outside of this locker room that would have thought coming into tonight with 6 rotation players out for the Lakers, you guys would be up by 3 in the last 30 seconds against the Nuggets. Mm-hmm. What was the belief level coming into it for this group?
We definitely believe. Everybody in here knows what they're capable of and believes in one another. And guys are itching for an opportunity for, you get an expanded role, and, it's all about playing hard and playing together. And I think that message is echoed throughout the locker room. And so when we go out there, we know we're, moving as one unit. And anytime you're doing that in this league, you can have a fighting chance.
Dalton, first of all, how you feeling after that fall?
I feel good. I mainly cramped, and then I tried to hang on the rim, and then pretty much just slipped. I'm fine. I'm fine. From junior college, so I'm good.
It did look like it took some pretty good impact on your back there, but you said that part feels okay?
Yeah, just ice, and then maybe a massage in the morning.
So Dalton, after you make that dunk, you guys go up 3 and have a chance to, with this improbable win, down 6 key guys, right? That Denver's fully healthy. How do you balance the pride in making it that close, you guys all playing well, and then kind of the disappointment of them executing down the stretch and getting a win?
Yeah, just like you said, they executed, and we were short on guys, and we fought through that. They was up 10, they went on their runs, and we came right back, made the game close right away, and we just went out there and played our part, and they just executed at the end. So just got to watch film and learn.
Austin said he told you, every time you want to shoot. If it's 35 shots, go ahead. He wanted you to really feel that. What did he specifically say to you? What did you kind of take from that, and how do you feel like you played in the game with that mindset?
Yeah, AR tells me all the time. He texts me throughout my college career and gave me advice. And now we're on the same team. He's been pretty much my main vet I can go to and talk to all the time, and he has my back 100%. So having a guy like that he almost had 40, almost had a triple-double. So having a guy like that to help me and to be super confident in me, means a lot.
How did it feel getting the start back home?
It felt good. Had tons of family and friends here, and I'm about to go see them after and say what's up.
I know you played here last month, kind of got that playing as a pro back in your home arena out. Did it feel different today for you?
Always feels good to be back here. I played here twice in high school and twice in the pros, so always feels good to be back home.
Did you have to look up to mom and tell her you were good after that fall?
Oh yeah, I told mom. I gave my mom a thumbs up, so she knew. I knew she was worried, so I just gave her a thumbs up.
Austin, JJ said he told you guys he was proud of the efforts. How do you balance that, knowing how shorthanded you were, taking the 3-point lead in the final minute, but then Denver executing down the stretch and getting the win, kind of the pain of that versus the pride, I guess?
Yeah, you always want to win, and regardless of who you take the floor, with, we feel like we could, win, and, we went and put ourselves in a good position to do that, and, I missed a midi with probably 28 seconds left, and to go up two, they come down. They kind of went to what they went to the last 2-3 minutes, and Dalton got on the high side because we were fronting Jokic, and he kind of walked him up, held him into the screen, and Jamal got a wide open three and made it. Losing sucks, but I'm happy with what these guys in the locker room did tonight.
I know you're focused on the team and the result and everything, but you've shown now pretty consistently you can carry a much bigger load when needed. LeBron missed the game a couple weeks ago. Tonight, no LeBron or Luka. How just the confidence that you have in your own individual game, how has that grown over the years?
I think I've weirdly been confident for a long time. It's just being on the stage for the world to see. But I tell you all the time, I just try to play the game the right way. And when shots fall, it looks good. When shots don't fall, everybody's ready to kill me. So, everybody in the locker room, did what they had to do to win. And unfortunately, we didn't get it done. But they made it easy for me out there, just putting me in the right positions.
Second night of a back-to-back, you guys have 3 starters back in there that are hurt. Another handful of rotation players here that weren't playing. Why was it important for you to play and compete? What is it about competition that pulls you?
Basketball is just fun. I'd be lying to you if I said that at some point between, before the game and last night when everybody was, trying to figure out if they were playing or not, if for a second I was like, we got how many rotation guys? Bron, Jax, Rui, Doe, Gabe, Luka, it's a lot of guys out. And, they told me to go play, so I go play.
You mentioned last night that JJ spoke in the locker room. You helped provide the perspective of it was all good just a week ago. What perspective, I guess, you guys didn't win a game on the trip, but what perspective can you have for the trip and I guess what you guys can take away from it going back home?
We went 0-4, so it's a pretty bad trip. But like JJ said a week ago, everybody was like Lakers in 5. So we don't listen to any of it. We know when we're full, healthy, and got everybody on the team that we have a really good chance to beat anybody. So I just see this group, coming together, locking in on one common goal, and that's to win. And tonight, I think, is the biggest testament to that. Very shorthanded and went and played a really good basketball team with probably the best player in the world. And went toe to toe and had an opportunity to win it and just didn't execute the last 50 seconds. So I guess that's what you take positive.
Last question.
There's value in these opportunities for guys when people are out. What did you make of Dalton tonight and kind of the chance he got to just kind of flex his offensive muscles the way that he's probably most comfortable?
Yeah, I told him in the huddle, I said, hey, if you want to shoot it, shoot it. I don't care if you shoot it 35 times. We're going to need every bucket you can get. So he's a hooper. He's someone that likes to compete, plays hard. Not everybody's perfect. He makes mistakes and gets through them. And he's one of the better, I don't know if y'all would call him young shot makers I've seen. He has a high release that doesn't get blocked much, and he makes difficult shots. So shout out to him. But it wasn't just him. I mean, Shake tonight was unbelievable. Christian off the bench was great. Everybody chipped in and played hard. So I'm happy for those guys. I wish we could have figured out how to win that one. Appreciate you.
JJ, against all the odds, you find a way to go up 3 in that final minute, and you've seen how Denver ends up scoring so many times. But how do you balance the emotions there of kind of being proud of the effort and the energy, and then nonetheless feeling the sting of the loss at the end?
Yeah, I'm proud of the group for their level of fight and resiliency, particularly not getting off to a great start there in the second half. Our transition defense was pretty bad from the first 6 minutes on. And then, fighting back and taking the lead. There's a lot we could have done better. But, the group competed tonight and gave ourselves a chance to win.
You said you're not sure exactly when you'll start to get bodies back, but the spirit, can you carry that out of this game as now you start to add a few guys back in and try to reclaim the not necessarily the winning streak you were on, but just that level of play again?
Yeah, the spirit was great. I think it's been that and will continue to be that. And I think it was a good opportunity for a number of guys to play bigger minutes, and Shake in particular, Christian defensively in the second half was awesome. So happy for those guys that they played well.
JJ, people who've been around Austin, like yourself, like us, know his level of competitiveness. But what did you kind of make of his performance and his toughness tonight?
Yeah, I certainly asked a lot of him on the second night of a back-to-back, not just the 40 minutes, but just the vast majority of playmaking duties. And I thought he did an outstanding job. And again, I hate to keep using the word organization, but when we were very intentional and organized about what we were doing, I thought we created some fantastic offense.
When you brought Jordan Goodwin back from this team on a two-way after he was with you in training camp, did you have a sense he could be this player for you?
Yeah.
What gave you that sense? Because there's been a handful of performances.
I don't know the exact date he joined our preseason gym, but what happened sooner had he not hurt his hamstring? The coaching staff was all fighting for him.
How's Dalton after the fall?
His back and head apparently are okay. I guess he cramped on takeoff.
Koloko, I think, ends up being like plus 13. It just seemed like he made a difference defensively around the rim. Hasn't played a lot lately, but what did you make of him hanging in there tonight in a tough matchup? And does that give you any confidence as you move forward here?
Yeah, it does. I think, again, Goody, Christian, Trey, we've gotten incredible value out of those guys and love having them in our program.
JJ, you said pregame, you mentioned that maintaining perspective with the messaging, with the group. What was the messaging after tonight? As you guys go back?
Just that very, very proud of their fight and the way they started the game and the resiliency they showed to get back in the game. And there's I think the play that Jokic got the and one, I'll take some ownership of that just because that was a short timeout and I ran on the floor to check on DK and then I ran back and I didn't have time to really get us the right substitutions and matchups that I would have wanted. And that's not a knock on CK, but I just kind of put him in a tough spot knowing that Jokic was going to go quick. So, and then, last play, just no comment on that one.
You mentioned pregame that nights like tonight can help build trust with players who may not get regular playing time or consistent minutes. How did tonight, or not just tonight, but the past few games where you're missing a lot of guys, how did that impact trust, or I guess build trust?
Yeah, it impacted it. It certainly is a reference point. Again, the trust is maintained and sustained when it's consistent. And I thought tonight a lot of guys played at a really high level of energy and fight. And when they are able to do that consistently, that trust is going to be there long term.
JJ, I know you have to be locked in on just the next game. If you'll allow a zoom out, how significant do you feel like home court, even in round one, would be in a Western Conference like this, especially considering how good you guys have been at home? And, how much could that impact trying to make a push if you need to late, relative to just, okay, want to be as healthy as we can, guys getting rest? How do you view that bigger picture part of it?
Again, we're trying to make the playoffs.